All right, let's see what's gonna happen now.
Oh god, here we go.
So yeah, it's pretty hard to follow, but you'll see. We'll try to give up like just little trick and stuff. So what you want to do most of the time when you're exploring like a beta quest,
Go. Putain, il va
you
vite.
always want to go back from where you came. So if you like you're in Zora's River, or in this example, they're gonna enter Ice Cap. Now they're gonna enter London Range because what you want to do is explore the fastest you can to find the goals that are. And
Ah,
right
j'aurais aimé
now,
que
the
tu
guard I
m'envoies.
can see that it's pretty fast. Is like Silver Scale is pretty fast.
Il y a quoi comme goal rapide?
Um, this
Euh...
looks like actually a pretty slow card.
Ice Arrow, Goron Tunic, Iron Boot, Silver Scale. Oh my god, il y a
So
Goron
here you
Tunic.
see that they're dying because they want to test the like the entrance that it, and the entrance was I think leaving the
D'accord, ça
London
va
range with
rafraîchir un peu.
Epona
Je regarde, ok,
to
alors.
towards
Prélude, ok, donc il n'y a pas grand chose comme goal rapide. Putain,
Yeah,
Goron
so
Tunic,
in
c'est
Beta
quoi cette
Quest,
caverne?
if you die in an area, that's essentially you as though you had come from that area that you had started from,
Pas vraiment.
which is a little bit confusing.
Ah, il n'y a pas beaucoup de goal rapide, mine de rien.
But Sunsong often works the same way
Ah, c'est pas si
yeah.
in areas where time doesn't pass.
niveau
There's some
10,
ways to
c'est
like
pour
hit a
faire
loading zone that you
des
might not have
zones,
normally been able to
voilà.
get to.
Mais vraiment, faudrait que je prenne des
The way
repères.
you have to see it is how will it work like
I need
in
to
the
get
normal.
rupees.
Well, it worked the same way.
Où sont les goals? Ah merde.
But yeah, looking at the board, I mean, Silver Scale is kind of one of those early ones, like you said.
Voilà, ils sont là, Castor. Désolé.
But there's really not too many easy cheapy ones here. Someone might get lucky and find Mido's house, but that's like there's only one place to find that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a lucky one that could be really quick. But most of these other ones
Castor
are
aussi a bougé. Oh.
going to require some time to commit to.
Here they have the like the big start. Like they have to choose between dying here or entering the. If they die here, they're gonna get the Master Sword because dying collapse always give you the
Ouais, manque
Master
les
Sword.
points. Bah, je mettrai après.
And this
On
the
verra
the
si on peut
reason
faire
why
ça.
it does that. It's because in the vanilla game,
Désolé.
you can actually lose the Master Sword at the Ganon fight. So
Ah, c'est
the programmer makes sure that you have the Master Sword if you die at the fight.
Yeah, they're taking the same path here so far. They both went and opened the bars at the bottom of that first one at the top, just in case it's hard to get there again. But then, yeah, now they both have Master Sword.
Ok, donc taille collapse. C'est Volvagia. Ok, bon, on s'en bat les couilles.
Volvagia is
Je crois que ça sert à rien.
not on the board. And they found a grotto with a market skull, which is also not on the board.
Pas fait gaffe en tout cas. Oh, le
Yeah, so
crapaud
far
de
not much.
Ooh.
Kind of a slow
c'est
start.
fuck off.
Oh, that's better.
Limite, j'aurais pu le
Yeah,
choper, genre.
both getting the hook shot at the exact same time. That's a really good item to have.
Bon, par contre, là, le truc, c'est que.
Especially with
Enfin, nous,
like
problème.
a square like 8 Zora's Domain skulls.
100%, il l'aura, là. Par contre, ce qui me fait
You don't
chier,
really
c'est
want to
que-
have to be doing hovers in Zora's River to get those skulls. One
Yeah,
skull color from
exactly.
each adult dungeon. There's Death Mountain skull. Like, there's a lot that Hookshot's going to help with here.
Kokiri Forest, avant
Yeah,
de
there's a lot like Ochot like doesn't like you don't need to, but it's so useful to have. It's just gonna like it saves so.
Mm-hmm.
On peut arriver des fois, ça.
To continue with the exploration part of Bedequest, here you're gonna see then after they take the Ochot, they're gonna void out, and voiding out is gonna be like entering the Ochot grave, which is technically an adult. Well, it's not an adult or loading zone, but
Salut Mew.
it's easier to do as an adult.
Ouais, surtout Samsung Caster, putain. Salut Toligoin.
Yeah, so kind of just to explain that real quick. If you enter Dampe's grave, you're put at the beginning of this race in vanilla. If you get crushed here in this grave, it also puts you at the beginning. So in Beta Quest, that's always mapped to something different. So the beginning of this is mapped to, let's to just find out what it is. But essentially, both of those things will now take you to this part of Gerudo Valley that Marco just hit. So as adult, they now know if they're in the graveyard and they go into Dampé's grave, it will also take them to that spot in Gerudo Valley.
Si jamais tu retrouves pas Cac ensuite, ou tu retrouves que de nuit, ça peut être casse-couille. Surtout que là, je suis proche de la nuit.
Marco's opting to doing the bottle right away, which
Yeah,
makes sense.
this is
Yeah.
right. Yeah, if there are a lot of super quick goals in a beta quest, early on I will skip getting this bottle because there are just too many other things to be going for. But I think they both looked at it, recognized, oh, I might be able to get silver scale, but there's really not a lot else going on here, so they might as well get the bottle.
Il faut que je note Cac, c'est Hunter Fortress. Salut Luna. Okay.
Yeah, this is already pretty interesting because we don't see a lot of child gold right now, but there's the current tunic is open, and you already have the hookshot. So if you find the Lake Alia, you could already like take the skulls and maybe go out over super early in the seed.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. I think to have such a quick adult, it would be tempting. I don't know that I would necessarily do it, but I could see if they do find a Temple of Time, kind of wanting to take that chance and see what happens.
Yeah, you're only really giving up on Bottoms of Well for now, without more information.
Salut Maïsan.
The bottle is really also useful for Ocarina item. Since you don't have an Ocarina in the beta quest, you cannot really have the Ocarina easily. Getting the bottle here is really useful for playing the song, and like right now they don't have any, but if they ever find like Sun Song, it's gonna be really useful.
La bouteille c'est pété, c'est ultra important. Salut Anayume, merci. Salut Biba. Beaba.
Let's see if we see some diverging paths in Kakariko here. They've basically been on the same path so far.
Yeah, I really like to do Impa here. See what they do.
Yeah, I usually leave or do Impa. Leave, like, to Hyrule.
Impa. Passer l'apothicaire, ok.
Yeah, every glitch are allowed except the one that will like doesn't work in specific. By example, you cannot equip swap a stick because it doesn't work on all versions.
Ok, Castle. Lakilia.
Alright, they found already Lake Alia.
Balek. Ah, y'a les skulls.
Yeah, at a pretty good time of day too, if Marco would decide to go for these skulls. I think that's what he was gonna look like. He was gonna maybe kill himself and do a death, but yeah, the skull timing's just really nice here.
Bon, je vais pas prendre l'autre sur l'île là-bas quand même. Pas déconner non plus. Bon, il y a 4 skulls au lac, donc voilà, on va prendre deux vite fait.
I'm curious if he's gonna go grab the other one though.
Yeah.
Du coup, c'est. Oh, c'est de la merde.
Let's see. TG deciding to just go in the house. Back alley at night, that's actually useful to know. Some of those doors you can only get open during night.
Bon, du coup, là, je perds un peu de temps à commencer des goals que je suis pas sûr de faire.
It looks like Marco decided to just die here,
Mais bon.
which is like
Là, j'ai pas le temps de te répondre, Zephyr.
Going down the water in Gerudo Valley.
exactly.
Plus tard. Et il y a 6 maps, j'avais même pas vu. Ok. Ça, c'est.
Yeah, there is no logic to this, so there could be areas that are completely locked. The good thing about Ocarina of Time is it's such an open game. There are so many things you can do. You can almost always find a way around. It's not like we'll see half of this board be locked out. There might be a square too, potentially, but...
Yeah, it's super rare.
Ok, c'est de la merde.
Also, as a reminder, they are allowed to take notes. So note taking is actually a pretty important skill here. Knowing when you hit key things, where they're at, how to get back to them.
Ça, c'est un shield.
That comes in play a lot later on, so it's worth the time investment to take a couple extra seconds and write something down now,
Ok, ça c'est super.
to be able to map out a little bit better in the future.
Non, dégage.
Nice. Marco deciding that now is the moment to get the skull.
Mais du coup, en vrai.
Yep, that worked out really well for him.
Oui, d'ici du bon côté, ouais. Ok, bon bah 3 skulls du lac, c'est déjà bon.
TG finding a couple hubs. If he writes those down, that's good. Gorilla Fortress, Lost Woods.
Merde, je voulais.
Hubs are like areas that have a lot of entrances. So Kakariko's got a lot, the market's got a lot. Gorilla Fortress. These are nice areas to write down just to have a lot of branching options for you.
Une bonne warp ça parce que c'est un peu relou de revenir là.
TG's finding the trial, which is one of the most important loading zone at the start, because it's I'll say the fastest, maybe not the easiest one, but the fastest way to get the bomb shoes, which give you access to more location and mostly more gold. For this card, it's less important, but like because there's not really fast goals. But yeah, having explosive is really good.
On va faire les cascades du lac, il est assez.
Yeah, you definitely want to get explosives as early as you can. And Marco found Goron. Ooh, Marco just found Goron City to Temple of Time to bottom of the well.
That's pretty
That's
huge, yeah.
quite a chain right there. Goron City often becomes useful for, like, Goron Tunic is on this board. Oftentimes there's like 3 swords, 3 shields, things like that. I don't think there's any on this board. Giant's Knife is also on the board, so yeah. There's a lot of good Goron City, and then obviously having Temple of Time is good. And bottom of the well here, not only is a square, but it's going to get him shields, it's going to get him Deku Nuts, Deku Stick, if he wants, and it has explosives as well. So
Pretty good.
yeah, bottom of the well is definitely one. If you can find that in the first 10 minutes, that's definitely a big find.
Meanwhile, TG found his bomb shoes.
Yeah, so they're both going to have shoes.
Putain, c'est un peu relou là tout ça.
Marco opting just for the shield for now.
Non,
That's interesting.
Hmm.
He's writing it down, and he's going to come back with. I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like he could have definitely went and got shoes there, but he must have an easy way to access it. Okay, well.
I don't think he had that earlier, but I can see skipping the bomb shoe if you don't remember right to Vine Clip or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit trickier than in what you see in speedruns because he can't Ocarina dive, and he already has a sword on B, so the blank A I don't think would have worked.
Exactly.
So TG finding a Mirror Shield here, that's a big find early on too, because in Beta Quest you can actually equip it as a child and use it. So now he has explosives and a shield, which is very nice.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about why Marco would have skipped the bottom of the well, especially because of the skulls. Like,
yeah, I
we'll
have a
see.
feeling he's wanting to go back. Like, he's gonna get these shoes. I feel like he's going back there.
Yeah, you're probably right now.
TG finding Fire Temple. There is one skull from each adult dungeon, so it's worth writing down, but I don't see too much else in Fire Temple on this board. It's kind of one of those things, you look at the board and you're trying to see which areas are important, because it's not always the same areas that are important.
It's part of the fun.
Indeed, it makes every match interesting and unique. But yeah, just to reiterate, first to 13 goals wins. This is lockout, so when one player gets a square, the other player can still get that item. They just cannot claim it. They can see when they claim each other's. They're using a synced board, so when one person clicks it, they'll both see it. And yeah, once you get 13, you win because the other person can only then get 12 on a 25 square board. And we are playing a 3-hour time limit. If it's tied after 13, or if it's tied after 3 hours, there will be a 30-minute sudden death next goal wins. If after that it is still tied, they are like just completely not able to find anything else. The first person that got to the tied number will win. If that makes sense. Marco doing a little clip to get this loading zone back to trials. Let's see if TG, if he goes out the top, he actually would find bottom of the well as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if he goes for it. No, it looks like he's going to go a different route here.
It's interesting. He decided to. Oh, he found. Oh,
That's a big one too.
I think that's better than finding bottom of the well for him.
Yeah, let's look at the board again. 5 shadow keys is a square that requires that. Din's Fire's on the board. That
Forest
requires
trial also.
Forest
Yeah.
Yep. There's 3 squares right there that all require Zelda.
We're really interesting from TG. He decided to light up like the shop and also light up the way to Lostwood, but then going
back to the shop. Yeah, he picked like the quote adult loading zone because that's kind of one that it's a little bit sneaky if you don't have, I guess, bombs. I guess you could use a chew to do it, but very interesting. So Zelda does take some time. Marco, let's see what he's able to get here while TG gets Zelda.
Yeah, the good thing about finding Zelda early like that is that you can look at the card and like just think, okay, silver scale is a goal. Maybe I should just thinking a little bit more about the card.
Mm-hmm.
Or as a note expert, as someone that's like do a lot of note, catching out on notes sometimes is also something pretty good to do while you're finding.
Yeah, yeah. It's you're also allowed to watch your VOD back, which I find myself doing more often than I would like. So when you're in a cutscene like Zelda here, you might have a chance to refresh on something that you weren't 100% sure on.
Only one player can get one goal, so yeah, it's a lockout. That's why it's called a lock.
Yeah. The other player is allowed to collect that item in the game. They're not like actually not allowed to get it, but they cannot mark it on the board.
That would be crazy, to be
That
honest.
would be an interesting mode for sure.
Ice Cavern, il y en a besoin. Oh putain, il est hors de
Marco.
Ice Cavern. That's
Yeah,
a square. 3 skulls
that,
and ice plus iron boots. 2 squares there, and he's gonna go for these boots. I think right now.
yeah, that's interesting.
The skulls, I think he'll pass. It would be some crazy hovers, but it's
No,
Marco, so you never know.
no way he's doing this goals. No way.
Yeah, I think this will be interesting because he will potentially get the iron boots, and TG is going to see it and be like,
Yeah, I don't like. It's a good thing. Like he's doing the goal. Like but I don't like. I feel like he's forced of doing it because it's gonna take more time like doing a goal like silver scale or something like that.
mm-hmm.
It's a weird decision, but I can see why he's doing it.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be tempted to do this as well. Looks like he might be going for one of the maps as well. There are 6 maps on the board.
Oh, he didn't have blue fires, so he cannot just center. So here's a good trick when you have the easier skull like Iron Boot and this is you want to have blue fire in the trial in the water trial, and you can dupe your bottle with a like MTC bottom or on your knots or anything like that, and you use it in like in the ice cavern, and you have to like just do it at the start. That's what's it's complicated about this.
Yeah, and he went for a jump there to get to the top and missed the jump, and I think he just decided to bail on it, not waste more time there for now. Although he could have done another clip with a chew to get through the red ice,
That's true. Yeah.
to still go get the iron boots, but yeah, I think for now he's just keeping that in his back pocket. He knows where it's at, and I think he'll. It's interesting. He's found some of these squares now that he could potentially do 3 water, 3 bottom of the well skulls, and now like iron boots. So we'll see how quickly he prioritizes doing those. Whereas TG hasn't quite found those, but he does have Zelda, so he's a leg up in some other squares.
Yeah. I think he's trying to do a mega flip right now to get the Zora's HP.
Yeah, there is. Where's that at?
Don't do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 Zora HPs. So he was trying to mega flip to 1. But there's also 8 Zora's Domain Skulls. So the Zora areas are pretty important here, both in terms of it's interesting because it's not just a square you can go and commit to. You kind of have to spread yourself out. You got to do, time of day's got to be right. You need to be child and adult to get some of those squares. You have to hit Zora's area, Zora's, river, domain, fountain. So I could see someone committing like a decent amount of time, getting like 6 of the domain skulls, and then the other person getting the 8, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can kind of commit a lot of time and then have nothing to show for it, which is the scary part.
Marco is going for the Dead Mountain
Death Mountain
Skull.
ones, yep.
And this one is even more interesting, I feel like, because you can decide to do it all child compared to all adult. This isn't like a new goal they added on like the beta quest.
No,
And
there's 3 that are adult, right? You could get
uh,
5.
the Dead Mountain, you can get 2 in Dead Mountain Crater. You can get 2. Are you right? Yeah, you can get 5. You're right.
Yeah.
My
There is a
but
square that's 5, but
yeah,
this one's this one's
yeah. I
6,
think there's the
unfortunately.
one new one. There's 5. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But still, yeah, it's a pretty fast goal compared to the 8 Zoras domain area skull.
Marco finding forest as well. Death Mountain, yes. The Death Mountain area, just to clarify, Death Mountain area means Death Mountain Trail, Goron City, and Death Mountain Crater. Those areas of the overworld. And when you pause on the map, like the pause screen, you go to the map. If you hover over that Death Mountain, it will have the Skotola token only when you have all of those Skotolas. So that's the area that the game actually counts for those. We didn't just like make up those areas for that.
TG deciding that the Kukos is the way. Deciding that mecha flipping is too slow.
Yeah, just kind of doing a little bit of work in Zoras for now. Oh, Marco is gonna get that silver scale.
And it's pretty funny because like, do you know how fast they find the hookshot? They just had to leave the hookshot and go for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a sneaky one that often gets forgotten. When you get the hook shot, you always like go for it, and you don't often go back to that spot to go backwards out of the hook shot grave.
Yeah, it's the same for the Zora's area exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Marco should have the lead on the silver scale. It's just 5 seconds away or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. And that's a useful item too, just because it opens up some easier ways to hit some loading zones. Like if you're at the top of Zora's River and you want to go through that warp to the Lost Woods, I mean, there are other ways. Like if you could probably do some dive to it, but
yeah, it's for beta quest. It's really more important because the exploration part is sometimes really like really important as general.
Mhm.
Silver scale just go
Bon,
up
allez, oui.
like
Oui, j'aurais
by a
préféré
lot
faire plus.
in
Non, mais
the
c'est pour ça que
value.
j'aimerais faire les skulls aussi, quand même.
TG at least didn't even have like didn't
Bon,
found
donc
the
après,
Deser's
techniquement,
domain,
c'est
so
pas
he's just
trop.
probably just
Il y a trop de points,
there's
quoi.
nothing I
Mhm.
could have
Il y
done
a
for
trop de trucs,
this.
mais c'est plein de trucs que je peux pas faire.
Right. It's really the one square on the board that was just like, all right, you found it first. GG.
Oui.
You know. I guess ice arrows now comes into play like that too. Whoever finds
Là, c'est trop fort.
GTG is gonna
Balek.
simply get the ice arrows
Attends, il y a
first.
Giant's Knife et Guarantee. Non, mais mec. Alors, attends, ok. Donc.
Now I'm curious if Marco is gonna decide to go for the well or for the other.
Mec.
Hmm. Yeah, he's got them written down for
On s'est
sure.
retiré
He
carré
needs
pour
to
être défensif,
decide
ça
like,
fait plaisir. Hein.
do I go for these things or not?
Genre,
Or maybe he's gonna go for like the bomb first. For
Ah,
like for
c'était ça.
easier over to the skull and
Ah oui, c'était ça.
because normally the vanilla game wants you to use the boomerang, but Marco probably not gonna do like the whole Jabu just to get the boomerang.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if he finds Jabu, because Boomerang is a square, he'll take the time to do
Oh,
it.
yeah, you're right.
Bon,
In this
en fait,
particular
il y
case,
avait un
yeah.
truc. Comment je vais à la forteresse?
Oh yeah,
Ici.
definitely get boomerang then. Yeah.
Ok.
Looks like TG is trying to
Les
set up some
Mountain Skulls. Est-ce
So
que je peux te faire
TG's having a
trick
pretty
here.
like
une de chaque
nice strat here.
Non,
The only thing I have to say is you want to hit the pillar here. So when you do the Navi
Oh yeah,
dive
he's
here, you
diving. Yeah.
that's why he's trying. It's better I
Hmm.
think to do a jump slash.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where it's just like if you have silver scale, you just dive and you don't have to worry about this. There, he gets it.
Nicely done.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's see if it pays off.
Kind of vanilla, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went to the Lost Woods. The French vanilla.
Allez, on va tester. C'est le puits, hein, bientôt. Ouais.
So the giant knife. Can he delete his sever scale with RBing some? I'm not sure if like is there's like anti synergy in the board, right?
Uh,
Ok.
Marco deciding to go back to bottom of the well. Yeah, I believe if you would RBA the chicken, you would lose the silver scale.
So you have to be careful about that also.
Ok, ouais. Bon, je vais juste faire ça et je passe adulte, je pense.
Yeah, another thing about Lockout, we didn't mention this yet, but if there are squares on the board that you collect, but then you
Ça fait pas
lose,
longtemps que je l'ai pas fait.
you have to unclick it. So if
Salut Mario.
Marco could actually potentially do an action that would lose him the silver scale. If he does that, he has to unclick it, and then TG's gonna see it and be like, if he has it already, he just instantly clicks it, right?
Salut Trezias,
Or
ça
he
va,
might
salut.
say, "Oh, I want to go and get that." Interesting. There's also 6 maps and 7 compasses on the board, so Marco's gonna get the map and compass in here for sure. But those are both lengthy like commitments, right? You have to commit in a lot of dungeons to getting
Oh
it.
putain, c'est là que je me rends compte, c'est dur le BQ en fait. Contre Boulash, c'était free, genre.
Yeah,
Pas
exactly.
parce que Boulash a pas fait de go. Mais je sais pas, la grille était plus
The
TG
facile.
good
going for
Yeah, the good thing with those is like since it's 6 map and 7 compass, at least both like if you found a dungeon, it goes in like both. Like you're gonna get at least a map and mostly a compass with some
Mhm.
exception, but
On a des queues.
it's better than like, having just 7 compass. And yeah, I think Marco also find the skull class earlier, so he should be fine for just getting the normal adult wall.
Je me rappelle
Yeah.
plus, mec.
Yeah, there's a lot of skulls on this board already, so
Oui, oui,
he'll be
c'est
getting
pas
10 no
c'est pas si
problem
fréquent en
to
vrai.
get that wallet
Enfin,
upgrade.
c'est pas si fréquent que ça, mais c'est arrivé à tous ceux qui ont déjà fait du BQ pendant longtemps. Ouais.
TG now in the ice. If he rushes Iron Boots, he's gonna get it.
Non.
Echo Marco's gonna do a nice over here.
Alors, vas-y, mais putain, c'est chiant.
Yeah, this is a neat little. There's a neat little setup to get this Scotola without wasting choose. Oh, he almost messed it up.
Mais non! Oh là là! Je sais plus jouer à ce jeu, c'est terrible. What?
It's funny too when you're in a lockout mode like this. Like, and if you're in a normal speed run, it's like you're doing your speed run. You've done these tricks. The muscle memory takes over. There's an extra pressure that you often, if you mess up, in your speed, you can reset, right? There's a pressure here that like Marco wants to get this square, and he knows he found bottom of the well pretty easy. So TG might find bottom of the well pretty easy. And I don't know. Whenever I'm playing, I get this like sense that I have to go get. I'm really pressured. I got to play nearly perfectly to get this item before someone else does, right?
C'est ça, je
Yeah.
Like you can see, he's getting a bit flustered here, trying to do this trick.
Yeah, I feel some player goes like just handle the stress better and start playing better when they're like
Mais ouais, faut
under
revenir au
lockouts.
shield. Ok.
Yeah. It
Ah ouais,
it definitely requires you to keep your composure.
c'est les strats.
Okay, so Marco is having some trouble with this trick, and the problem I see it right now is he's trying to use a chew for like changing the camera side, but I don't think you need to do this. You could just wait for the babu to get like
Je crois que je vais pas le
hit
faire.
you again and do another
Je crois
back.
que c'est adulte, je sais juste plus le faire.
But seems
Hmm.
that it doesn't remember the strat, so he's just gonna give up right.
Hmm.
Absolument plus tout.
Yeah, that's tough.
And that's double tough because right now TG is actually doing Ice Cavern.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna get this.
Oh, he's not wanting to die. Yeah, get the hearts.
Good call, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you die, you don't go back to the beginning of the temple. You go somewhere else in Beta Quest. So if you're in a place you want to be in,
Bon, tant pis, on verra plus tard.
yes, that HP is actually not Azora's HP. It is specifically Ice Cavern only. Oh, Marco going to pick up a song here, a warp song, the Requiem. No, he's not.
Yeah, too slow for him.
Yeah, and warp songs in Beta Quest are completely useless as always. So...
I mean, I think they probably both already test out the requirement anyway. Is a neat little thing for Ice Cavern. Ashchal, that is that you can push the block and Youngling would out like just be like pull with the. So it's pretty neat,
yeah,
just like this. Yeah.
sliding around. All right, Marco's gonna potentially go for some more hovering tricks with those chews. Boomerang
Yeah,
would actually be a useful
yeah,
square.
exactly what I hope he's just gonna do all those nice over, and then he's gonna find the boomer.
Of course, that's always how it is. You do all the
That's the
hovers,
classic.
then you finally find Jabu to get the boomerang. This one can be done with, I think, like 2 chews or so. I do a
Yeah,
setup with 4 personally, but
I don't do any setup. The only thing that like you have a lot of bomb chew in Beta Quest. Most of the time you're fine to do like just without
yeah.
a setup.
Mhm.
Putain, cette grille là, elle challenge tous les trucs que je sais plus faire.
But yeah. The good thing about like Beta Quest is exactly this. Since you're getting the choose from the Spirit Trial most of the time, you get a lot of bomb chew. Like it's
Oh,
20, and
Tout
then
se
like
passe bien, mon gars.
oh did
Ah là 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 là,
he
tout
went
se
for a
passe
side hop
bien.
jump slash and missed it.
Très bien.
Mm.
Incroyable.
not happy
Marco
about this.
he's so close to all these
Ça, j'aime bien ça.
goals and he's just not able to get them. That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah. So nice thing here that Marco just did, and on not sure if you saw, he
Mm-hmm.
used the wall inside. This wall is kind of weird, and the bomb should just explode right away. So it's fastest to do this
Très important.
if you don't have like a shield or something.
Mm-hmm.
Bon, au pire, je peux passer adulte et espérer
And yeah, Marco's been playing a lot of I think Major Mask right now, so he's probably not having like the OT, which doesn't help.
Yeah, TG closing in on his first square, Iron Boots. The interesting thing about this, you can get Iron Boots as a child, but you do not get the song. You do not get Serenade. Uh, that song cutscene does not trigger as a child, but as soon as he would come back here as an adult, um, as soon as you enter the room, the song cutscene would play.
So you're telling me he can skip a warp song? That sounds pretty
Yes,
good to me.
that sounds great to me.
Ça c'est horrible là, ça m'a un peu saoulé. Je fais rien en enfant alors que je peux faire 10 000 go en adulte. Go adulte. J'ai voulu
But yeah,
tenter
this is a tough board.
Ouh, il a fait Iron Boots.
All right.
Yeah, now Marco knows that TG has ice, so it's like
Ice Cavern.
they both see no. Well, no, they both don't. Marco knows that TG can get the ice calls
J'ai plus de
if
thunes.
he goes adult,
Ouais, reste, hein.
but TG
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily know that about Marco. This is the thing that's so interesting about Beta Quest and Lockout is like
Merci de ton soutien.
it comes down to like you gain some knowledge about what your opponent's doing or what your opponent's up to, but your opponent doesn't know it.
I feel like Marco's gonna go adult. He's just wasted like I think just 5
Yeah, he might just get enough child skulls here so that he can get that square as adult. The Death Mountain ones. How many? That's two, right? Yeah, he can still get.
Putain, fait chier qu'il ait fait
Does
Iron
he have
Boots.
See if
two?
he goes to the Garden shop. That's the way to. Oh,
To Zelda, yeah. Yeah, looks like he's going. I
I
don't know
think
how many. Did he get two or three Death Mountain?
he got two, but he skipped the one on the wall.
Oh, okay. So he can still get that wall. He can still get that then. As a yeah, that's fine.
Lucky for him, Zelda Lullaby is not.
Ok,
Yeah,
en vrai,
there's
est-ce que
potential.
les
Like I
sons
can see
sont
Marco going to Goron City, getting the Goron tunic, and then going through that Goron
I
to
I feel
Dor
like
Zelda.
he's gonna push the
Moi, je
statue.
connais Ice Cavern,
That what I would have
je sais
done.
les sons.
That's what I would do as well first, but it does at least open that door, you know.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's
if
true.
Goron Tunic wasn't on the board, then why like clipping through there seems less obvious.
Okay, I like what TG is doing right now.
Alors, une-
Beta Quest players going most of the time are lazy about HP. Nine is a long goal, but it's still a goal, and maybe like he knows that Marco won't do it right away.
Yeah, it's if you see a heart, if you get a heart that's only going to take you, 30 seconds, it's probably worth going and getting it. Especially if it's the game's just going to give it to you basically like that one. Yeah, so Marco with the adult move here. I think that's okay on this board. There's a lot of adult stuff on this board. He has hookshot, he has bottle, he has choose. Does he have a shield? He's got mirror shield. Oh yeah, he's got a Highland shield too. So
Yeah, it's fine.
mhm.
He knows that he gave up on the three skulls lab in bottom of the.
Yeah, but he's probably okay with that.
If I was TG right now, I would like. I think I would stay child. There's no point of like trying to rush for like Goran because it's probably the first goal is gonna mark Goran Tunic or for Lake alias Skiltula. And then
Mhm.
he's gonna know, okay, he's already adult. Should I go adult or not?
Right.
I feel it's already too late on this card. I think he should take his time, try to find the Din's Fire, trying to go for the bottom of the well. Just have his like the more
Yeah.
safe exploration.
Yep. Yeah. There's enough market type stuff. He could luck into GTG. He could hit, like you said, to inspire. He has Zelda, so he can get those magic type squares. Um,
Ooh, nice. He
so we'll
found
see what
DC
happens.
also. So that's three Skull and Dongo Cap.
Ooh, yes, that's a really good find. It's gonna give him bombs and it's gonna give him the three skulls.
So I don't think he knows the status time. Let's see, know the other way. I think it's still fine since there's a goal there anyway. So
Yeah, to get the skulls.
Little mistake he made there that a lot of people does. If you have bomb shoes and there's like the gold tree skeleton and Dungle's cavern, the best gold you can get is actually the back one
Tenir un bécu
because
sur
you
le
don't
dos.
need to hover. It's
Faire une grille de bécu, tu veux dire?
but if you can hover, like it's about the same.
Hmm.
Une grille de bécu, ouais, normalement, ouais, sauf que certains goals ils requièrent des glitches, genre les gantelets colorés et tout.
Okay, Marco's gonna RB more Poe here, I think.
Yeah, get some more chews. One thing about Beta Quest is definitely sometimes you just don't find bombs. Sometimes you just don't find hookshot. You have to be able to creatively move around, often with just shield and choose, which those things you can usually get.
Like, I think he's getting Gondrum from the pots.
Saving a
Uh,
chew.
yeah, I like that. I think it's an older strat. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, it is. Before we had knowledge of like using a chew to get a ground jump, that was where we always went to get a ground jump. So yeah, Marco doing a trick called Reverse Bottle Adventure to get a bottle on B. And I could talk about that for like half an hour, but to keep it simple, the item that's on C right
J'ai pas pris ta
basically
marque,
points to certain parts of the
j'ai
game.
pris que la compasse du coup.
Uh, Poe in this case happens to point to the chew amount,
Attends, c'est quoi
so
déjà?
updating that B button bottle updates the chew amount in this case. Yeah, 90-minute long RBA discussion. I mean, we could certainly have it.
Yeah, as a programmer, it's sultry. It's so. I just realized something. Marco did not take Riddle's letter. With it's a shame because like
Ah mais
there's the
c'est pas
fire arrow
vraiment
skull. I feel like I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, he
bah
does
si.
have.
Ah bah non.
He did find Forest Temple, so getting the bow isn't out of the question. But I agree. If you have Silver Scale, getting Rule's Letter's nice
Ouais mais du
backup
coup
to be able to shoot arrows. If you don't manage to get a quiver,
The nice thing you can do here, what Marco is doing is you can target the
bah attends,
lever
je suis là,
and
merde.
talk to
C'est un
Navy,
peu une galère, hein.
and that's allow you to get it 2 times by
On va dire que non, hein.
just to slow up. Yeah, to speed up a little bit.
Cette carte, cette grille, ce file name est nul.
So that's
Putain,
two chew for two skull and
yeah, two skulls. He's gonna get the bombs and then, I guess, light the eyes.
incroyable. Je vais aller escaler un
yeah,
peu.
probably.
Du coup, faut que je retrouve le Lakilia. Et Goran City.
So you see often that the player are skipping the grottos. The grottos are not in the logic in the same way that
Ou alors il
like
faut.
the main loading zone are. Like depending of the type of. So if the grotto is a unique one, like let's say the underwater HP in the Arfield or any kind of grotto like that, they are unique. But the other time, like if they're a generic grotto can lead you to anywhere
Est-ce
with
que tu
some
peux
like
avoir du coup
even more special location. It's a very interesting thing because sometimes it's just a gamble. Like you go to a grotto, you hope to find something, and you find ZL. But this
Right.
ZL loading zone is just random. Technically, it's like you
There's
just got
another
lucky.
ZL out
Yeah,
there.
technically
Yeah.
this exactly. So I personally I don't like to do all the grottos, but in a lockout
Putain, j'ai
situation, it can be really good.
trop l'habitude du round de
Yeah. So Marco making his way back to Ice Cavern, gonna pick up those three skulls and probably get the map and compass as well. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Does he go for the iron boots in this case? At this point?
There's this is Zora area HP, I guess. If Marco can find Phantom Ganon, that would be really good for him. I mean, you don't need to get it right away. Also, that's the other
True.
thing.
Yeah, it's not necessary, but I'd probably pick it up in this case. I think there's enough utility for it.
Pris un buff alors dans les trigales. Ah ouais. Ah ouais. J'ai pas pensé à ça.
Interesting enough, the both players gonna get a second goal at around the same.
Ah ouais, putain, c'est vrai qu'on peut faire ça. Putain, j'y ai pas du tout pensé. En vrai, il y a la map qu'il faudrait que je prenne. Bon, je vais d'abord.
Ooh.
Faire la citadelle,
TG
après je reviendrai plus.
failed
Oh,
something on
that's
the
right.
eyes.
No, it
Oh,
didn't file it.
that's right.
Je
Yep.
Yeah,
descends d'après.
there's a special thing here. If you come from the door, you need to do this first. It's
So dumb.
the good thing it did hit the
He hit,
platform.
yeah, he
So
hit the platform. Otherwise, he'd have to go
I
around.
I don't know if it was intended, but good for him.
Yeah. All right,
So
Marco getting those 3 skulls.
there's an easy void warp you can do here for those that are interested about that. You can just where's the beamos in the middle? If you face towards the head, you can just grab the ledge and do a normal mega flip, and then you're gonna like void out there. So you could have used that to like go back on top, but I think it's still just faster to do the way it just.
Ouais, voilà, bah, je suis hypé. Enfin, c'est cool quoi, mais. Bon, on a rien vu du coup.
Yeah, I would probably
Tellement hypé par
I
Marco.
would probably think Marco's an adult. I don't know that I'd think 100% like for sure.
Je
There
sais
are
que
some squares that would tell him that for sure, but
ça va me durer.
I would conclude if I was TG that Marco is an adult getting that square, especially for because he found hookshot early and it was fairly straightforward.
And you didn't mark boomerang.
Right, and he does not have boomerang.
Oh, ouais.
Well, he did not mark it. You can play mind games, and you can collect a square and not mark it until a later time.
Bon, la bleue,
But that's risky because if the other player then does get it, you lost out on it.
Yeah, the player that could do that right now is TG for sure, because he's still child. Marco have like his back in time is luck. You know he's luck because defeat Ganon is on the card, so we'll know when he's gonna be able to go back in time.
Yeah, it's something that I will try and look for situations I feel pretty safe doing it, but those are rare. It doesn't happen often where you do it. But when you are able to do it and you mark squares later than you actually have them, you kind of confuse your opponent
Bien, perds pas de moi. Oui, bah oui.
because they don't know
Marco,
exactly where you're at that point.
yeah, exactly. Which can be useful to be honest.
Hmm.
Doesn't look like it, but like at the higher level, yeah, it's definitely useful.
Aïe.
Okay, Marco did a nice S here. I don't know why he wanted to save his blue
Yeah,
fire.
he's
I
saving
have no.
that for. I'm not sure at this point.
Maybe he did find Zora's king, but from the other side.
Faut m'attaquer en fait.
So if he did that,
Yeah.
he could unfreeze it and walk through it.
All right, TG getting the 3 skulls, and we're tied. 2s again.
Il a trouvé d'ici. Ah, le bâtard.
Ooh, okay, going for the cutscene skip.
Yeah, Mark, we're gonna try and skip this cutscene.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
Il a trouvé
So
d'ici.
dying right as he gets the iron boots, he'll get the iron boots, he'll get the song, but he doesn't
Ouais,
have to
pardon.
watch the
Ouais,
cutscene.
c'est cool.
And he
And
also gets warped away.
yeah, as a bonus, he spawned at the entrance of the ice cavern, so he can just go back
Oh, je
if
vois pas
he
que c'est en
didn't
train
test.
de. Je me suis lancé à l'arrache dans le vécu en me disant bah ça va, c'est facile, je connais tout, tu vois. Mais non, il y a plein de trucs que j'ai oubliés en vrai.
Oh, that doesn't warp him away.
Yeah, I think every just warp song does that. Skipping every warp song with a like die.
I see.
Okay, TG playing super safe here, trying to go for entering Dungos. Both,
Yeah, it's not.
go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say it's not a bad idea once he was already back
Je
here
trouve que cette
to kind of
grille
do this one.
est ultra dure. Enfin,
I like that because if he's not feeling like confident that he can match up the execution of Marco, doing the loadings all that take a little more time might
bah,
be
ça permet
more
de skip la
like he
cutscene
might
et de
get
trouver le
something
song.
from it.
Ça gagne beaucoup de temps. Ouais.
Right, great point. Marco has a lot of years of experience and high,
Putain, les
skill.
blagues elles sont free as fuck. Comment
And so if you're up against him, you think, well, I'm not necessarily. You might think, I would probably think, well, I'm not necessarily going to outplay Marco. I might as well try and gamble a little bit, pick a loading zone that's a little bit kind of
Oui, c'est bien.
less used or less thought of, and see if I get lucky with a key loading zone.
Okay, so something super cool happened. TG, well, not super cool, but something happened. TG had a load, and it was beating Shadow Temple, but it's look exactly like entering the graveyard. So I'm curious of what he's gonna do right. Don't think he saw that.
Remarque, c'est la fontaine. Attends.
Yeah, was that the white flash?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the loading zone like people in the chat that's really hard for Quest is this one because this one is like beating Bongo as adult, but like as child you don't spawn at the pad, you spawn at the bottom and you just have a like white small flash.
Bon, du coup, il a
That's
dû
really
skip,
hard
mais
to
ouais, il
see.
a les bombes, quoi.
So stuff like that, when you skip, sometimes the problem after that is you're gonna think that like you did every loading zone in the.
Ah ouais, c'est ça.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard.
Oh, il est nul ce file name. Oh là là.
Okay, Girdle Valley, Girdle Fortress is way less fun as adult. Nobody like you.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to navigate around.
Interesting.
TG with the Requiem.
Marco had a unique warp that was spawned from the Kokiri Forest. If you would have played Sunsong there or die, it would have been a unique warp again or something you don't know what it.
Looks like Marco will pick up Storms here,
Comment je lui DMT, moi?
which does open up several other grottos, which is nice.
Yeah, you might as well.
Faut que je trouve PG. Faut que je trouve PG, faut que je trouve Goron
TG
City.
deciding to stick with the Requiem. Oh yeah, and the Zora's HP. Good point as well.
So yeah, it doesn't look like he collect the Iron Boot, but by dying at the first like second frame of the explosion, he skipped the cutscene, certain cutscene, but he still have the Iron Boots. He cannot mark it because TG did the Iron Boot.
Right. It doesn't stop the player from getting the square, but they can't actually mark it on the board.
Ah non, ouais. Ouais, de toute façon, on s'en fout.
Let's see what Marco skipped with the skipping required. Not much.
Something useless, I'm sure.
Fire, Bazarka. Ah, c'était Bazarka. De toute façon, j'ai combien de skulls là? 9. Ok. Faut que je prenne une skull.
I would think Marco's highest priority at this point would be getting the Goron tunic. He's hit Goron City several times.
Yeah, go on Tunic or the Lake Alia. If you're there, you might as well.
Yeah, Lake Hylias. Even if it was day, I'd probably wait that out and just sit there.
Ah oui, attends, bah tiens, c'est le moment de remettre les couleurs, je crois.
Yeah, we do still have some quick, easy goals on the board. GTG is a quick ice arrows, and obviously Mido's house is a pretty free one too.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody found Milo's house, but they just skip it. I would hate that to happen.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those ones that's like, if your opponent beats you to 7 compasses, they probably worked pretty hard for it. If your opponent beats you to Mido's Green Ruby, then you know they just stumbled into it.
Yeah. There's some exception like the 37 HP. You can over to this like,
La grosse main.
but most of the time like there's just some free goals
Mm-hmm.
just happen.
Waouh. Pourquoi j'avais déjà fait ça?
Yeah, I'm saying Ice Arrows is pretty free when you find GTG because you don't need to get any keys to get it. You can literally just clip through the
Quel truc.
the chain wall as a child, or you can do a weird shot as adult.
Do you think it's more free as child or as adult?
Uh, at this point, it's probably more free for TG. If Marco had bombs, then it's pretty much the
C'est
same.
hallucinant quand même. Que les warps, Lakilia et Goron City.
if you know weird shots.
Yeah,
I
of
don't.
course.
The two weird shots are probably a little tougher, but I'm sure Marco can do it. Zora's River. He's not getting the hearts yet. He's kind of just marking that, I think.
So if you find Morpha, do you kill it? That's a random question.
That's interesting. There is 9 hearts. I would probably do it. I'd get the heart and then set myself up for fire arrows.
That's like such a good like I think our decision, but like at the end it might be a good like because like doing the hover or doing like the hookshot jump, like those things are possible, but like it's just the synergy. When you see it, sometimes you just like try.
Mm-hmm.
Marco still have
Yeah,
his
does
bow, so he should be fine, even if he use all his explosive.
right. Yeah, it does kind of seem like Marco's trying to just keep fishing for some key loading zones here, rather than go
Yeah.
target any specific thing. Oh,
Ooh, and that's a good one to find. Yeah, if I
yeah,
was TG, I would not be happy about that.
that's huge because he's adult. He's going to have a utility of going back and forth through time. He's going to potentially get to the prelude of light with this as well.
You still have to kill it.
Yeah, and I mean, he probably needs to find the backside of Temple of Time or what? Get the hover boots.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. We
So
don't have Shadow.
shadows. We don't know shadow yet, but
Shadow could be in the market as we know right now, so
right.
it's
Yeah,
still not
there.
done.
It is a little bit scary because yeah, shadow, as you said, could be like a child load. But yeah,
Hey,
this is
it's a goal, so just that is pretty good.
exactly. No matter what, at least he gets a goal out of this. But it really sets him up for some nice utility later. Yeah, I feel like Marco wasn't necessarily. He didn't feel pressured to get like the Goron tunic. He didn't feel like TG was. That's just a. I feel like he made a read
Yeah,
on TG here and said, I think TG is staying. He got most likely
I
got those bombs, as a kid, and is staying kid because of that.
I don't like that much because TG could go out all any time and just grab Goran Tunic and like, okay, what did he get as Jack? Like this different.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think I would try and get that Goron tunic, but it seems like Marco was fishing. It seems specifically like he was trying to hit some new spots.
Or maybe Goran City was like in Gordo Fortress and you couldn't reach it with the because his entrance was like in the back or something like that. Sometimes like your note is not telling. That's the thing dangerous with node. Like sometimes you have this like node is like Gordo Fortress is say warping in like Water Temple, and you do it as adult, and then like in you're in the back of the Gordo Fortress, so you cannot.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice to delay the bingo card because it does kind of ruin some of the suspense. Like I think they could. We're gonna know who has the Mitos house before we see them get into Mitos.
Okay, so I have to talk about something funny that happened to. I beat as a child. I beat Forest Temple with the slingshot. And then when I enter the cutscene, I hit the cutscene where Sarah's like walked towards you because it was my first time in the Courtry Forest, and it skipped like this whole dialogue with the seed. It skipped it constantly, and I was at the top of. That was the
Oh,
first time I saw
mhm.
that. This was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think I've had that happen to me as well.
Bedequest always like hit you with some random stuff. Some
Yeah.
okay, TG is using one of the most like useful technique here. He's using the Zelda later to just like damage more, like input more damage with his bomb, which is really useful to do.
On va noter ça.
The other big thing right now is Marco still didn't find ZL, and we're 1 hour in.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think
Ouais, bon, on va
that
faire un
gives
autre.
TG a chance here still. If he can get on a roll with some of those Zelda
Elias,
squares.
top Kokiri, c'est facile.
Yeah, it's gonna come up of like what Marco's gonna do. Is he gonna test the
Du coup, je peux faire
like
Fire Arrows.
the
Ou
Goron
faudrait que je retourne au
at the
forest.
back, the statue pool, or is he
Non,
gonna
en fait, au
do
lieu de faire
the
Fire
Goron
Arrow,
shop?
la priorité c'est de trouver Goron
Hmm.
City.
And I feel like Marco waits here in
Et
Hylia, no
j'aimerais
matter
bien
how
voir
long of a day cycle, to get
des
this
petites
fourth
maps et d'eau comme ça
skull.
finalement. J'ai pas trouvé beaucoup
Yeah,
de donjons.
you don't need the auction for this gold, but it's kind of a crazy offer.
C'est où? Je sais pas. Ok. Là.
All right, did you
TG
get
getting, hmm
Bon, par contre, faut que j'attende la nuit.
yeah, some Death Mountain skulls.
also gonna get
J'aurais bien
the
le temps
HP
d'arriver là.
here, or is gonna try to?
He's got another
Everyone,
shot
Ça
at it.
existe. Ah ouais, mais
everyone, close your eyes for Marco goal. You won't.
ça va noter, moi. Et puis pour les Fire Arrows, si je le fais, je ferai les side flip, des side flip over. Tout simplement.
So dying here is testing like entering the top of the month.
Yeah.
That's the other part with notes is like if you die like that, which was probably a
Faudrait que je
mistake,
retourne au
you
Fire
can
en
still
vrai.
take note to know what you did, even if like it was. It's kind of hard to explain, but like
Du coup, je suis arrivé comme ça.
taking note is not only like knowing where to go next. Sometimes it's like knowing what you did before, what like you didn't try.
Yeah, you almost have to be like a step ahead of your note taking sometimes to know like the previous step, even if that one might not have been important. Um,
Ah, t'avais le
Yeah,
step
because
Still
system.
writing it down for anticipation.
J'ai compris.
at the like very like maybe like 3 hour mark or 2 hour mark, like you start getting like those zone where you did everything, like the big hub, like I did everything in CAC, but then you get like entering CAC, and you realize, oh, I never enter CAC, so you could just die there, and it's
J'ai
gonna.
pas très envie de faire le forest tout de suite.
But
Mhm.
that's like the next
On
level
va
of
essayer
taking
un truc
note,
comme ça
which
sur
is
le.
pretty
On va
hard to
essayer
do.
d'aller au forest.
The bingo card, the square, these 5x5 grid here is just a randomly
Ça aurait pu.
generated card based on just some numbers, like a seed.
Yeah, it's being balanced by people that was playing. I was part of it. Marco was part of it.
Ouais, la
I
meilleure
think
seed.
Slot was part of it. Menu, of so we
Yeah.
just
Tellement pas ce que je
took
veux
a
faire dans le
couple
style.
goal, and then like we said like which goal is order of each other, and we make like a nice on this card. Like the three goals are like silver scale, which is like a one or some stuff like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a mix between easy goals, hard
C'est très
goals,
important de
and
faire.
there's also some code that stops from like 5 of the goals being like Spirit Temple
Ouais,
things.
pas tuer le forest.
So it kind of balances throughout the world.
Et en plus, j'ai
Yeah,
pas les stuff
exactly.
pour le faire. Là, j'ai que des choux. J'ai 9 choux pour tout faire. C'est dégueulasse. Ce serait hyper lent. Genre.
Yeah, and keeping impossible pairs to be together is another good
J'ai pas
point.
de force. J'ai rien.
So there are some squares that you could not get both of, like silver scale and gold scale. You obviously can't have both of those.
Je sais plus du tout comment je suis nul.
All right, Tiju's just gonna get this goal.
Bon, peu importe, on s'en fout.
Yeah, probably get the skull and leave.
I wonder if TG find already found the Temple of.
Ok, c'est CAC le save up. Nice. Ok.
I don't remember like finding the loading zone.
Partie. Ok. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4.
Okay, he's going deeper.
Hmm.
Non, mais dès que je trouve Goran City,
Interesting.
He
3 go.
could
Non,
be
je veux.
testing entering
Franchement,
Phantom
je
Ganon
call si je trouve Goran City. Je peux pas prendre Prélude, non.
or the map, getting a map here.
Yeah, he might be going for the map.
You can do both. Oh, wait. I guess if you skip this, it's pretty
C'est ce que
good.
j'ai expliqué, il me faut les
It's
overboard du
faster,
coup,
but
la warp de la Mestor Sword direct. Pourquoi j'ai pas save, je sais pas.
showing up some skill in there. I like that.
Back aussi.
So what he did there is that he skipped the by catching the bug at this. I don't know the specific, but by catching the bug at the same time that the cutscene start, he can move while the cutscene is happening. And what it allow him is going like down the elevator. Uh, it have no use for him right now, but he still did it because I think it's fast.
Yeah, and he did it on buffer too.
Okay, yeah, the save warping thing. Uh, when you in the version 1.a, the developer added a new functionality that allow you to use your like
C'était peut-être pour le
your
laquelle
save warp as child, even as adult. And the other thing was cool with that is that if you're inside of dungeon, if you save there, normally you just it's like entering the dungeon. But if you do this, it's gonna be like
Putain,
your
mais
main
c'est de merde quoi.
save warp as child. It's just a new thing they added for
Yeah,
C'est
consistency.
pour ça que j'aurais
You
pas
get
essayé,
less
pourtant
stuff.
j'aurais essayé, je sais pourquoi j'aurais pas
yeah, because there were ways you could get stuck. Um, like if you would hit Volvagia's room, and entering Fire Temple was Volvagia's room, and you didn't have hammer, then you're you would end up locked into that room.
Ok, bon.
So this
On va aller prendre
gets
la
a
boîte.
way to get to the very first loading zone of the whole seed,
Oh, fallait mourir
and
là.
you can kind of get out of it.
Marco's still looking for this Goron city.
Ah, tout seul. Ok. Bon, je vais prendre la boîte.
Another cool thing you can do in Beta Quest, you can actually buy the gun tunic. Sometimes it's a good option.
Putain, par contre, je vais gaspiller tous mes choux. Ça avance pas. Elle est longue cette chaîne en plus. Elle dure hyper longtemps là.
Yeah, that's right, Dunzo. I get what you're saying, but I think he doesn't know where TG is. That's the most like the more stress you can have in a lockout. You don't know where your opponent is, and like if he goes that like TG go at all and just like find Goron City by chance, then you
Je
lose.
vais prendre le. Ok.
But for the giant knife,
Non,
there's
les
more
HP, c'est bon,
preparation,
mais.
so I think he's feeling more safe. And he also, if he didn't know, that he also need to find his skull to have.
Yeah, he's been in Goron City. I think they both have. I
Yeah,
don't know if it was just a tough spot or if it was, yeah, if it might have been changed from like a child spot potentially. I'm not sure what the exact chain to get to it was.
Maintenant, faut que tu
oh,
m'aides.
and Marco got the Sign of Storm for the zero
Je
area
vais le
HP.
laisser crever. Hey,
Yeah, I
this is
just realized.
Sphinx. Yeah, if I die here,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
guess
have
what
a
loading on
fucking
was that.
wipe of Jabu.
The
That
TG loading
spawned
zone.
in the middle of the water after the cutscene.
That was getting
It's
the
going
the
nice.
hull right from the
Not
link.
really, it's pretty bad. But I'm winning at least, I guess.
Marco's gonna die here. Interesting.
Putain, c'est frustrant pour Goron City en vrai. Ok.
Okay, yeah. So he knew where was.
Yeah,
Oh, I think that's why he keep his blue fire. Actually, if he
that was
find the other side, that's interesting.
quite a find for Marco there.
Ah oui, non, ouais. Quel moment ça s'arrête
Yeah,
déjà?
now Goron City's
Ah oui, d'accord,
huge.
ça va, ok.
2 squares.
On va prendre l'œuf parce que j'en ai marre de pas pouvoir damage buffer là.
Okay, be right back. 1 minute.
Mec, ça me frustre à quel point je peux faire 10 milliards de gold, mais juste faut que je trouve Goron City quoi. Ouais, Giant Knife, c'est l'épée qui se brise. Ouais. Ah oui, j'avais déjà fait, ça j'avais oublié. Ça c'est à Bocac. J'ai tout fait, putain.
Back. Sorry.
No problem.
Center Market.
I'm guessing I missed nothing or
Non,
everything.
Goron City. Wow.
Yeah, nothing too much happened here.
A cool strike you can do here for TG if you don't want to side up like a
Mais
crazy
donne-moi Goron
person.
City,
You can
putain.
just target the wall and turn like 90 to the left and pull out of chew and you shield up the bomb shoe but while holding the shield and you're just gonna get pushed inside of
Tu ne trouveras jamais
the
Goron
fairy.
City qui est planqué dans.
Yeah, Marco does still not have Zelda. That's, I think, the biggest thing keeping TG in this right
Oui,
now.
bah maintenant, on s'en fout.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that could happen, but we need
Yeah.
those market like goal to be better. Like Jabu here will be big or something.
Peux-tu trouver Goron City,
Hmm.
s'il te plaît? Ah, bon, c'est pas mal, ouais. Il va
Just
falloir
at
que
least to keep the goal going on. The longer you go and like the less gold you have, that's the problem.
Marco potentially going to pick up some more Death Mountain skulls here. Uh, let's see if he'll wait a night cycle for these ones. I probably would at this point, because then Goron City's going to give him 3 squares.
Oh yeah, you wait for sure.
Non, mais dans tous les cas, cette warp là, tu peux la faire, Alex. Attends, comment je suis arrivé là Ah oui, c'était Exit il y a. Ah, bah j'aurai pas le temps. Hein. Faudra que je revienne. Mais après, c'est pas très dur.
Here the grotto is special because it's wow. Okay, amazing.
Non, c'est impossible.
Getting in midair by the boulder, shame. Here the grotto is less like greedy because the cow is actually a unicorn. It's part of a chain or something.
Yeah, the Storms one would have been interesting to go for.
Oh, the storm one. Oh yeah, right.
Oh putain, j'ai prélude.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
that's nuts.
Marco
So
look
he's going
happy
to
about that.
instant. Yeah, he's going to get Prelude here.
6 aura HP.
Doesn't need the hover boots.
Ouais, je peux repasser enfant si je veux. Mais... En vrai, je peux faire les
Marco's
6.
thinking about going back in time.
Je suis pas sûr.
Please go to Goron City, Marco.
Enfin, j'ai prélude pas encore. Hein. Faut d'abord que j'apprenne le truc. Mais... Bon, je vais l'avoir. c'était quoi? Ah oui, NL, j'ai noté.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Du coup, 6 heures HP est faisable.
No, there's no way you skip Goron City now. You
Bah
have to
écoute,
go to Goron
je lui ai
City.
dit, c'est à toi de sélectionner les 3 premiers chiffres. Je lui ai vraiment dit c'était à toi.
Yeah, I think I'd
Je lui ai dit,
be
je sais pas
selling
si t'as
out
des trucs
for adult Goron City.
pas des chiffres, mais ok. Du coup, j'ai dit, bah, je prends vous.
That was entering Nehru's Love, and that puts you in the shop, I believe. And then that shop is blocked as a child. The dude's blocking there, and then he went through there. Is that right? Was that this Temple of Time?
Yeah, but then I think he also re-got the same loading zone, and then going back was back in time. I think it was something like that. Something
Okay, there might have
crazy.
been something after that.
Putain, je vais avoir que 5 goals. Putain, 1h15, j'ai l'impression que j'ai rien fait.
Yeah, after this Marco's going to be in the control for sure, even more.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting one for TG because Marco does not have Zelda. Now, Marco can still get in this grave,
L'adversaire est très vite. Bon, après, c'était
um,
en bécune.
but he'll have to do another trick to do it.
C'est chiant, j'ai encore plus de missiles parce que je peux jamais mourir, j'ai pas de
Yeah,
pèlerinage,
I'm not a
j'ai
big
rien du
fan
tout.
of unloading the
Je
graves
retourne. Après, il refresh dès le
because
début, mais
it's sometimes it's good. I'll agree with that, but the big thing is like if there's something else you can do and it is faster to
non, j'ai pas
do,
pris.
you should just do it because it's still
Où ça?
like random.
TG, je sais pas.
Maybe the grave is EL, but
Selon moi, il aurait
like
fait Goron City.
I'll rather just the fastest loading zone and hope there. That's what it is though. Not much.
On va peut-être pas repasser enfant là. Putain, ça m'énerve là pour Goron City.
TG is gonna test another child only
C'est fou
loading
parce que
zone.
dès que je trouve Goron City,
But this one is a little easier to
c'est pour ça que là je
see
vais
as
faire le
Adult,
saut. Le
because
saut
if you
rush,
find the Inspire as Adult, you
rush
can
savoir.
die inside of it,
Ce que je vais
and
faire.
it's the same one as this.
Right.
Ouais, du coup, exit. Ça marche.
Hmm.
On va faire ça.
What is a heart?
I mean, yeah,
Là, il
sure.
faut que j'arbitre
About
des trous en
it
fait.
at this point. I'd be tempted to go back here though. Leave the
Yeah,
boss room and see what that loading zone
Je
is.
suis 100% obligé de derber à des choux parce que pour faire tout à Goron City, il me faut 8 choux là.
it's one of the good
Faut 9
art
choux
though.
pour
But
faire
yeah,
le
you're
saut
right.
set. Je
It's
devrais reberber.
probably not this that's gonna make
Hyper
you.
chiant, mon gars.
You will need like this into something else, like maybe beating Dongo is something.
That's right. It was the going through the back of the shop, and then you were at the 37th hard piece area, and then you went through that loading zone. That was the pedestal.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, Marco going to get himself some more explosives. He still has not found DC, so he does not have bombs yet.
Tracy tried to go for like I think a rebound with the bomb or something. Was missed it by a little bit.
Bon, c'est cool de savoir que je peux repasser enfant quand je veux.
It's interesting that Marco still didn't find the explosive or stuff.
Et il sait du coup que je peux repasser enfant quand je veux.
Wait, did he equip over his bomb bag actually? Oh. I guess well, I guess that yeah, doing the RB is not worth.
Yeah, it's tough to get to Kojira sometimes.
Goron City, please. Non, j'ai déjà fait ça. C'était quoi déjà? C'était pas un truc bien? Ah oui, c'était ça. Ah oui, bah si, bah ok. Bah, je vais aller faire la skull
I
là-bas.
think he'll go get the skull he missed now.
Il y
Yeah,
a des skulls
Marco
là-bas.
will.
J'en ai une, deux, trois, quatre. J'en ai que quatre.
That will give him 5, and then man, Goron City is going to get him 3 squares. That's so big.
and maybe CL.
Oh ouais, putain, combien de temps ça va
I
prendre?
swear,
Yeah,
if he
and then
finds
he is
CL with that, it's gonna be
Ça va
amazing.
pas être trop long.
yeah, that would
Bah, bon, là,
make it all but over, I think.
City,
Unfortunately for TG.
Goron Tunic et Giant Snipe, j'ai tout ça. Hein.
Yeah, TG didn't get really lucky. He didn't even find one
On
fairy.
va prendre la scale ici.
Yeah, he found a magic spot early on. I remember him having a fairy fountain.
Faut que j'attende.
That was one of your question, and then family fraud
Ça va,
is
vous amusez bien?
one reason why you go in. Oh yeah, I cannot say that. Sorry, I won't say it. Never mind.
Moi je galère. Hein.
Check out the family fraud survey for those
Oh, je
interesting.
pourrais
It's
avoir
pretty amazing.
full là.
Yeah, don't say it.
Warp sur 10. Je vais mettre
Uh,
Warp to Warp
TG now does find one of the magic. So the first one you find is always magic. They're all linked to the magic one. So then after you get
Bah
magic,
ouais.
if you come back here, it will be one of the other
Mais j'ai rien hein, comme quality
Yeah.
of life.
what it actually is, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of masked as magic first.
There's an actual way to know which loadout it
Ok,
was,
XD.
and then the do is like if you enter Nara's love, and then you find a fairy later on. If like you
Mais il y a deux fois que
play
je me fais
Sun
kill.
Song on Dar inside the fairy, and it's actually the same thing that you find earlier on. It's actually Nara's love. You'll know by this.
Goron City, Goron City, Goron City. Non. Il y avait des rubis là-bas, j'aurais dû prendre les rubis. Lol, mais lol, j'aurais pu reprendre les rubis. Bon, ça changerait en fait, j'ai pas besoin de prendre ces rubis là.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say like when to go adult. It's one of the hardest thing like to learn. If you go adult too early, you can get punished
Allez,
super hard.
bordel.
But if you go too late, then you'll miss out on. There's still a chance that he goes adult and find Grand City before Marco.
Bah là, on s'amuse plus. Hein.
And the other thing, if you go adult
Allez, un
super
ciel de
fast, then you
l'espoir.
hit all the song loading zone, and it's super boring.
All right, Minuet. It's gonna be
Ça va. Je galère un peu.
a useless warp song.
Mais du coup, j'ai Sérénade que j'ai jamais joué en fait. J'ai Minuet aussi à tester.
Nice buffer by TG here. I like that.
Yeah, he got a couple hits there.
Faudrait que je teste cette warp là aussi. Comment je suis arrivé là? GF2. Je peux noter que c'est dans les warps à refaire, limite. Je vais noter que c'est dans les warps à refaire ça. Je vais rentrer au forest. J'essaye de rush un peu toutes les warps rapides. Parce que là, mourir c'est long quoi ici. Je pourrais damage buffer, mais. Mais je crois pas avoir fait ce warp forest. Je sais plus. Si, je l'avais fait, merde. Ah oui, c'est vrai, je l'avais fait. Ok, bon, ça c'est cac, je crois. Et je vais.
I don't remember that happening.
Non, non, c'est ça. Bon, les. Ouais.
Marco's getting ready for going back in time also.
Yeah, he's definitely prepared to get that frog's heart.
Allez, récompense-moi pour cette warp. Non, 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 non. Allez, Goron City, putain. Tornado. Déjà fait.
I'm just opening one loading zone to make the thing more interesting. Just one little loading
Yeah,
zone.
all tricks are allowed, but except game and
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
TG getting a chance at Din's fire here.
Can you get the famous love of 1 on 5?
ça m'énerve. C'est un truc de ouf.
Don't look at the card though. You'll get spoiled.
Don't look at the card.
Nope, the one you want to get. So when the camera start on the back, it's actually Narislav. Yeah, the best way to just know what it is, it's like from the back it's Naruslav, from the right it's Dinsfarn, from the left it's. There's not really any other way. I'm actually pretty bad at knowing what is like the magic and the double defense.
Yeah, so that one is unfortunately the use of this one. Uh, FW would be still useful in some cases to put in dungeons.
With the new card, you can actually beat the temple, the Sky Temple.
True, yeah, you could use it for Sky Temple, although he does have enough hearts to survive a hit as well. Oh, another skull here. Unless he got that one already?
But Marco just marked it anyways. So.
The spoilers?
Oops, sorry.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, it's
Wait, was that a
happening.
warp song?
No, I didn't saw that. To be honest,
Serenade of Water, I think. Got him there. I mean, I don't think so. Was it a warp song?
interesting that he's opting for this first. Yeah,
Yeah. It is interesting he's doing it first, because he could have easily gotten the Goron tunic first.
I would have gotten the
I guess
Goron
it
tunic
really
first.
doesn't matter, but I feel like you're more likely to be sniped on the tunic
Yeah, by far.
than the knife. But yeah, this is not looking good for TG at this point. It is unfortunate that he got Zelda and that was a huge edge early on, but he didn't really get to take advantage of it yet.
Yeah. And now he doesn't even have like the advantage of being child while Marco's, because Marco can go back as a child any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like TG's got to get he's got to have some child loading zones that are only. Well, yeah, like you said, it's not going to matter. Marco's going to be able to go back in time, but he's going to have to luck into uh, Mitos and ice arrows and some quick ones there, and then he's going to have to like pull ahead of compasses and maps or something to have a chance here.
I'll be super honest. I'm more curious about if he can survive a lockout.
Yeah, just the hour and a half left for Marco to get 5 more squares.
I think he's doable if he gets some good goal. Yeah, that's the other part. Sometimes you're so focused on one goal that you skip all the loading. So maybe Marco's gonna do a lot of redo here. And he did not get the also. Alright, so we're gonna see a lot of exploring, I feel like.
Yeah, at this point, there's really not too much in particular. If I was Marco, I'd probably go back in time and get that Zora HP.
and then maybe the three bolt Skultla and bottom.
Yeah, he has potential still to. There are certain things he can definitely go hit.
TG is having the double edge right now, having 5 HP. It take more time.
Yeah, that is the one negative about starting to collect hearts. And it seems like why neither of them has committed a ton to collecting hearts, because you are often needing to die a lot still. And they don't have Sunsong in this seed yet, which plays a factor too. Yeah, getting a bingo in when you're playing Lockout, getting 5 in a row isn't a thing really for anything other than points. 13 goals, no matter where they're at on the board, is what determines a winner, because if you get 13, your opponent can only get the other 12. So at 13, we would not play anymore. That would be the end of the match.
Yeah, exactly. Most people that know how to like do bingo and stuff like that, we still use a 5 by 5 because we were so used to see a grid.
Is Marco gonna? I was gonna say he might have considered doing Twin Rova there for a heart, but yeah, I'd be shocked if he went through with that at this point.
I think TG did that earlier. That's kind of a shame. This part is really about not doing the same thing that you already. The more that you start to redoing like the same thing, the more time you're gonna.
Yeah, when you're looking for new things, it's trying to get into some new chain, new path, take some weird route that you didn't take before. Otherwise, you just kind of get stuck in some loops that you've been in.
Yeah, you gotta break the chain. Exactly.
Marco able to pick up both of these Zora's River skulls. And the hearts. He's closing in on some more squares for sure. Overshot that heart there.
Gonna do a nice little setup here. I like in the background. Yeah, so cool.
Gossip Stone, don't mind me, just blasting off here.
No Goma.
Yeah, he found Goma earlier and left it, but I think now he's open. He's more open to collecting hearts at this point, Marco is.
Yeah, and Goma is definitely one of the fastest boss you can kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, it's you either get lucky and find that one loading zone, or you commit a lot of time to squares. There's really not too many things that are kind of middle of the pack at this point. I guess
Yeah,
Marco has like bottom of the well skulls, which wouldn't be awful to go get.
and yeah, it's interesting because I think when you're ahead, you want to do the goal that take more time, and when you're behind, you want to get lucky and find those sweet loading zones. In my opinion, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think Marco would feel fairly safe going for some lengthier goals at this point. I think that's why he's potentially now more open to getting hearts. And he can start to look at the board and say, okay, I've got 8. I need 5 more to
Yeah,
win. What 5 should I kind of start to pick out, try and target? How
if
quickly
you
could I
find
potentially go ahead?
if you find GTGs that's like ice arrows and fire arrows, then you think about going back.
Yeah.
Mag Magic is like the same thing, but you get forest trial also inside of it. Maybe dense fire if you're lucky. Yeah, Marco's kind of stuck just because of ZL right now. That's what I feel. He's doing the stuff that he can do, but he's gonna need ZL if you want at least 2 lockout. I don't think he can. Can he?
Without it, he
Yeah,
can.
would. Yeah, Wamigal is needing 5.
5, yeah.
So he have 0 area HPs preparing for 9 art.
hmm The bottom of the well skulls. He could still luck into like
Yeah.
boomerang 6 maps.
Yeah, I feel like Sis Max maybe. For sure. But technically right now he only can do 3 goals. Ooh, ISRO is also a map, that's right. And Fire also a map. Ooh.
Yeah, I think GTG would be one of the biggest finds he could get still. Besides like Zelda. Yeah, this is definitely one of the negatives of not having Sun Song. You have to continuously, and we're trying to collect cards at the same time. Like you have to continuously die.
The good thing right now, which I like with this scene, is actually both players don't have Sun Song. It's really unfair when one get one and like the other one doesn't have it for.
hmm
Then you'll see a big difference there. All right, is TG going adult now?
Let's see if he's done. Yeah, I think he's done. Yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate seed for him because he did get the ZL, but there just wasn't enough there in the market, child market, or some child only stuff that would have given him an edge.
Yeah,
I definitely liked Marco's play though of going adult with the way this board was and the way the items kind of shook out.
yeah, I think you're right. And like the other thing is like finding the Phantom Ganon was. I don't mind him like doing like the 6 Dead Mountain Skull Goron City. I feel and but I feel what really put him ahead is finding the Ganon, the Phantom Ganon. Because if you go adult early, you actually go adult early for a reason, and most of the time it's for Goron Tunic or something like that.
Yeah, it can be risky, but I felt like this board. That's the thing too. Like sometimes board texture really determines your outlook. If there had been a lot of child goals here, maybe Marco doesn't do that, and they both kind of stumble around as a child. But
Yeah, for sure.
he was able to go adult and kind of capitalize on a lot of different things.
You're still hitting new loading zone at least. That's good for them. I'm wondering if we're gonna find Maida House before the end. Just the last goal kicking that chest. So good. Oh, that's pretty
Ooh.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, now I can't get the spot 5 small keys because he doesn't have Zelda, but still. Hover boots, a map, a compass, and now
Yeah.
he'll obviously write it down in case he does stumble into Zelda.
Yeah, just the boots are nice in general. Like when I find this as Chow, I like to just get the boot just because you're probably gonna need it for finishing the board.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that hover boots are useful for. Yeah, it is still possible he stumbles into Zelda because he's tried most of the other Goron City exits at this point. So if he ends up there again, I think he'll probably take it.
Yeah, there's a big chance.
TG going for Goma now, also collecting hearts. Someone's definitely gonna commit some time to hearts and be disappointed here.
Yeah,
They'll both have 6 at this point.
it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is Marco actually going for bunk? I didn't see what he's doing. Okay, no, he's are being more choose. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. For a second, I thought he was going for boat skip.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, ooh, okay, Marco, woo. Don't have Sunsong. You really want to test those loadings.
Mm-hmm.
The actual only like one I like to do as adult is Forest.
Yeah, that one's easy enough to hit.
It's not a bad idea. It's just the reward from getting it is not that big because you didn't even try entering like Shadow Temple.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go and get the compass and the skull there, because those would have been easy enough to pick up.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, he's doing the good call because DG is rushing those fun like those skulls. I could see him getting the 8 Zora's Domain Skulltula if it's keep going.
Yeah, it's night right now for TG, right? He's gonna head over. Did he get this one already or no? He's picking up a lot of hearts too.
I'm not sure if it's night or day though. It's tricky in this region.
All right, TG at 7.
Marco has 6.
I don't know how many quarter of a heart Marco has.
Maybe if TG find Phantom Ganon also.
Yeah, that is true as well. Or Morpho. Morpho would be a good bongo. Like, there's some good bosses for him to still find.
I lucky it's like it's day because he didn't collect the skull, or maybe he doesn't know the strat to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like doing that. Like I like unloading the guards there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, wanting to try another forest loading zone here.
The anti-gravity trick looks so cool.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. I think he was wanting to the GTG. Yeah. Hmm. Oh boy.
Hmm.
Marco gonna go to the other side, it looks like.
I think he's going for the HP here. Oh, okay. Oh, damn, that's pretty sweet.
Gonna pick up the silver gauntlets. Interesting.
Gonna try to lock up his.
Classic Asder. This is a tough one right now. They're kind of both just struggling to find what they need or find anything that will advance them.
If I was at their place, I'd be still rushing those HP. Just getting every HP con I could.
Mm-hmm. TG gonna get a skull here? Probably. What temples are left then? They haven't hit Spirit yet, have they? I mean, they've hit it, I think. The top, anyway.
I think Deku is the first also.
First time in finding Deku here.
Marco should
Oh.
be taking the map and compass.
Yeah, map and compass for sure. Hmm.
But yeah, as Adol, the dungeon, I think Water Temple. I don't think we saw that.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any water yet. I think we've seen every other temple. So getting the skulls is possible.
Spirit Temple is interesting because TG could be doing that also.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it wouldn't be the same game if TG could have found the Inspire early or something. Because really, like getting the fire source, then like you can do first trial. There's some synergy.
Yeah, he definitely had a couple paths to get some really good opening items, and it just, I mean, that's the way Beta Quest goes sometimes. Sometimes it just
Yeah,
doesn't work out.
but like the difference is like I'll agree. Like Marco will be still probably be ahead, but just
Mm-hmm.
removing those gold from the card make that Marco choice really have to be something more. Now Marco can just find CL and get the lead on something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's interesting with Lockout. Sometimes you have the like impression you're losing by a lot, but just removing the goals actually really like put you like in the same place at the.
Yeah, and you could tell Marco early on, like when he was in bottom of the well, it's like he was struggling a little bit with that one skull. Does he go for it? Does he, keep wasting shoes? Does he quit? He has to like make some really high pressure situations where I feel like once he kind of got the lead, he calmed down a bit. He was still kind of scrambling for Goron City, but he wasn't making. He was able to kind of make good decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes the pressure of if it was the score was 5-4 and he had more fear of losing out on say that Goron City then maybe it becomes a little bit, you know, more interesting with the decision making.
Is that why Marco took the silver gauntlet to just push the rock? I didn't say
I
what happened.
doubt it. I feel like he could have just, well, it would be a little bit harder without bombs. He does not have bombs still.
So TG's gonna have to ride up a little bit. Hopefully, you remember that you have iron boots, so you can at least.
Yeah, if he misses this.
He could have just equipped over boots right when he entered this. So worst case, if you void out, you can actually just equip over iron boots. I mean,
He's running low on time too. Is he gonna make it?
come on.
We are way below the map. Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Oh, oh, no! Oh, that was so close. Oh, man.
It's all planned. He's gonna hit something good right here. Right here.
Yeah, maybe the death will be in his
Take it.
favor.
Take it.
Oh,
Oh,
it's another heart.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's in good shape for the 9 hearts now over Marco. Marco would have to find a couple bosses pretty quick to catch up.
That also give him a lead on fire arrow if he get lucky. I
Yeah,
think the problem is gonna run out of time right here. 1 hour and 10 minutes is not enough time to get catch up on Marco. Can you imagine Marco though? Like he's been working on those HP and you get snipe on it.
yeah. What is Marco gonna get the bow here potentially for the fire arrows? Or he might just be going for the map.
That or he's testing Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, there's quite a few things he could try here.
Alright, one more HP to go. Earth piece? No. One more, 4 more.
Yeah, 4 more, I think. 4 pieces or another heart container.
There's still a Phantom Ganon that he didn't find.
Yeah,
And
Phantom Cannon, Bongo. He might, if he finds Twin Rovo, that would be a tough decision. But at this point, I feel like he'd probably take it.
do Marco go deeper in forest now? Looks like it.
Yeah, I feel like He'll get the map and the compass here, along with the bow, and that'll give him good position for fire arrows. TG does find Shadow as well.
I don't know how many map did you have.
Yeah,
I don't
it's hard to keep track of how many maps the players are at.
think you have less that Marco though, because I don't think you found bottom the way.
Yeah, he doesn't have bottom of the bow. I don't think he's at Deku. He has DC though, but I don't think it's enough.
Man, I hope he's not doing the fall small key and
He
should
might go for the 5 keys.
you have one more or container to get. It's so risky.
Yeah. Once you get to 8 hearts, once you're at like 8 hearts and the goal is 9, it feels like you really should make your time to get to 8 worth it and go get that 9th one.
Yeah, there was no snipe on this card, sadly. I like snipe, but not
Yeah,
on
we
this.
really haven't had any.
Maybe the nine art will. Not really a snipe, cause was like maybe a couple of minutes of the. Yeah, snipe is really like when it's close, like a couple of seconds different. Like me sniping run a guy in double magic, I think one race. That was
Oh
really
yeah,
fun.
I had just found. Like I was in. A snipe would be like, I have found the double magic fairy fountain. I'm about to get it. Like I'm talking to the fairy, and then boom, the opponent gets the square.
Still that I still lose that match anyway, so. Yeah, it looks like TG's gonna go deeper. Probably for the compass first. Let's see if he goes even deeper after this. Look like it by just blowing up the wall.
Yeah, couple rando snipes on Tatsu.
Okay, Marco got the bow.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he left without the compass at this point. Yeah.
Alright, one more compass. It's an interesting choice to decide to do this way first. I wonder if you want to do it in one trip.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was too bad to get to. 2 trips wouldn't be that bad.
No, TG got the ZL. It's just Marco didn't find it, sadly. Alright, Marco's ready for doing some over here. Sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah.
At least this time of day, it's pretty good. I think if you can get this S, I should be fine, I think.
Yeah, I think he's okay. Still neither player that picked up Sun Song here.
Alright, let's see if you can do the over. The good thing with this over is that it's not super precise, so you don't have to hit first frame explosions and stuff like that. You can just try to just do.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, there's a
batting
lot
is
of wiggle room here.
yeah, the batting is like you have to like do 12 of them or something like that.
Oh, he doesn't have ISG yet. Yeah, and also TG picked up a blue ruby chest. I think he might have gone into like rando mode for a second.
No. Looked like he got crushed also, so he spawned from the bottom, which is cool. Yeah, I feel like Marco is way too high. Oh no, he's just perfect. Just one more, and you should be able to just side up after that.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Very nice.
Yeah, Marco can have a big lead, so I guess he kind of won. I guess TG can fight for not getting locked. For the honor. I like what he's been doing in TG. I don't think he played that bad. It's just like, yeah, Marco right now have like the world record on the new boards. He's a really good like opponent.
Indeed, yeah. It kind of just didn't break TG's favor. Not that even if he had found a couple things that he would necessarily be winning, but there were some things that I feel like were crucial for him. And there were things like if Marco had gone adult and just didn't happen to find like Phantom Gannon kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
Um, that maybe TG could have capitalized on being a child still, but it just didn't work out that way.
But like just looking at him play, I didn't see him like doing the mistake that like the rookies does. Like I see him exploring like with a good mindset. Like he's dying in the good place. He's doing like just a good call in, which is pretty good. Like that's what I'm impressed by. It's just his lockout mindset was maybe a little too slow for like playing against Marco. That's all I can do. I can.
Yeah, I'd agree. He's been exploring areas pretty well.
Now, is Marco gonna decide to go do Shadow 10? Just a little mistake, that's fine. I swear, one day we're gonna see one of those top players just stopping to play and like, I'm gonna go AFK for 50 minutes. What's Marcos doing? He's talking so much. Yeah, maybe he's looking through his void or waiting for the sun or something. I trick to kill those guys. You usually auction them. It's really easier like that, so they don't just freeze. Yeah, validation rupee is a goal. It's pretty cool.
Indeed. And they have not got it yet,
Not
so
yet
it might not even
validated.
be valid.
TG probably find the goal, but he doesn't want it to be valid. Just, I don't want to. Yeah. And now he's gonna say to Marco, "I found ZL. What about you?" Marco's gonna be like, "Oh, maybe he's hiding all the goals." Actually, I don't know. It's not the last one because Marco sadly had to skip the off. He had some
He has the
struggle.
child ones, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oof. Don't die, TG. Not a good way. Yeah, if I was Marco, I would go back in time now. Cause if you tiny little market, you're like, all those loading zone I didn't test might be something I need.
Yeah. Hearts are still sitting there.
Yep.
Plus, he can get the Zora's one as well. It might be worth it just to go and pick it up and then make your way back adult.
I'm guessing he's still trying to see if he can find ZL. See what happened when he TG marked the smart 5.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then he's gonna decide to go Chow.
Uh, uh. That might be what he's doing. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Lock in a couple more goals. Make it that much harder. Like, yeah, in your mind, you do want to get to the 13, but it's nice to just continue to get squares if you get to 12, if you just make it harder for your opponent to catch up.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't like, even if Marco, like, let's say Marco will lose the 9 HP, and then he goes to go back in time, he get the 0 HP, the 3 skull, that's 10, like, and then he get the Zora's domain, like Aros, he get 12, like, he's not even like in the situation of a lockout, which I think it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really playing on the timer right now. That's what I'm feeling.
He's going for that Zora one now.
Yeah, he should
But
have
yeah,
hit.
mhm. You're right. At a certain point, if some square, like there's still a lot of squares on this board, 50 minutes left. It's like at a certain point, you are kind of playing the timer, realizing just how much time is left.
That's where the mind game would be made. That's at that moment that you just mark all the gold you did. I don't think I ever saw someone did that. I know that like sometimes people hide some goals, but I've never seen like someone like just hiding like a bunch of gold and then bam, it's actually tight game.
Yeah, some of the cutscenes always end up a little bit goofy in Beta Quest.
Also, you invisible when you hit the warp song and it leads you to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the game is way more consistent than before. Thing on the emulators, sometimes you can crash on like on the forest temple, this second room. Somebody crashed there, but except that, it's pretty more really consistent. Yeah, the funny thing with Invincible Link is that you cannot interact with a lot of stuff, so you cannot like most of the time when it happens, like you like hell yeah, you want to go farm those nice bushes, but you cannot even do that because like hitting the bush won't destroy. The way to do it, like you can just void out like some by some way, like going outside of like outside of bound, and when you void out, you're gonna be fine. Okay, look like Marco's gonna get the frog HP soon.
Hmm. Yeah, and there's also times where the fog glitch is so severe that like you actually can't see anything either. So you're just using the little mini map to like move around.
Yeah. I had a nice one where I had to do a weird shot in Lostwood to get a skull because I couldn't see a thing. I at least Marco won't have to wait for the whole day here. Also, no fairy Kurna. I just realized that's like the two item that speed up your exploration. Sunsong and the Fairy Kuna, and you don't get them.
Yeah, definitely had to. And man, this board was it just had long goals. It's not surprising to me that there's still half of the board available with 15
Yeah,
minutes or with 45 minutes left.
I feel in all the fast goal, like semi fast goal, like Boomerang or Dense Fire, like they didn't hit them at all. Forest Trial technically is an easy goal once you get Z. Well, it's not a so bad goal and no validation HP. Yeah, it's something. Oh, I don't think Mark will get the Zora's Domain one. Still missing one more.
Yeah, still needs Sora's Domain for the heart,
What do you
but
think
he's got the
about
skulls.
what do you think about this 6 Zora area HP goal?
That's an interesting one. That one's long. Uh,
I
I think it's okay. I like the ones that back off of the HPs a little bit more. I think like or like skulls the back like the four like Hylia skulls for example, just kind of needing a
yeah,
couple less things.
yeah, adding one more to this, it's kind of a. I feel, to me personally, I feel it's too much, like just frog HP. So what happened is you hit like you see this goal, you feel like you see this goal so many times because it's just getting back in time. Of course, you have to get like the other stuff, but most of the time it's just a matter of going back in time.
Yeah.
First trial, really just ZL. Nothing else to say right now. Just waiting for someone to find some. I don't think anyone tested the ball defense one. So that might be GTG. And one of the reasons why they didn't find much right now is just because they don't have sun. So all the boss that they cannot like enter the loading zone, like they cannot do Sun Song in the boss room, meaning all those boss are stuff that didn't change, which at the late game part can be really throw. Looks like Marco found his way back to Zera's domain. So it should be 11 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel after that he's gonna start to collect more HP in order
Yeah, I think
just to just to get snipe. It's gonna be amazing.
TG's gotta get moving on those hearts.
Oh no! Don't try to climb up that ladder without killing the thing. It's not gonna happen. There's another HP just here. Take it.
He is gonna take
Hey, he heard me. Let's go.
it.
Should probably still collecting this song.
Yeah, it doesn't really open up. I mean, it opens up a couple grottos, but at this point, it's kind of like I'd just be focusing on the 9 hearts. Like, well, I mean, not exclusively, but he does have some work in, say, maps and compasses, but. And yeah, here goes Marco back to bottom of the well.
Yeah, probably gonna get the map
Wow.
here. I don't think he got the map, did he?
Yeah, I think he kind of. That's one of those things where it's like I feel like he was really flustered, and if he'd have been a little bit calmer, he'd think at the time he'd have said, "Okay, I'm gonna get this map." But it seemed like he was struggling with those skulls, and he just wanted to get out of there.
All right. That should be 6 map, yeah.
All right, what goal does he want to try and finish on?
Well, right now he's gonna do the skull slab, but on the well skull slab. I will do. Even I
Oh yeah,
wouldn't like remember the
yeah,
skull. You're
yeah,
there. Just do it,
yeah.
Marco.
Just finish it out, even if it struggles a bit.
Now that you have the whole race inside of you, like I think you're ready. The tree bottom of skull is one of my favorite goal. I think it's so fun to learn. Like it's kind of stressful. It's not like I mean without like the boomerang or the bomb, just with bomb shoes, it's really fun to just. It's not the easiest one, but it's a really fun trick to do. So here you want to retard. Yeah, exactly. Keep backflip him. It's weird that he does this bomb shooting. Okay, look like it worked. Do you get it? Alright, nice one.
Yeah.
You actually don't need any buncher for this one. Ah, okay then so. I think that's the SVA strat here, if I remember correct. Marco saying he doesn't need bug anymore. Still catching it in case. The only strat I know here is the sniping strats. No, it's kind of bad, but it's not so bad. It's the like it's something you learn. That's like the over in the Deku tree for the one the skull in the back. You just have to learn the over. That's all. TG, you have over boots. Take it, man. Equip them. It's nice practice, but you have over boots. You can do it.
Right, Marco, one skull away from the victory.
Alright, nice. Should be just there.
Just waiting for that like. All right. That'll do it.
Starting up with the
GG.
first goal he tried to do.
Yeah.
Good game, yeah, good game. That was more interesting than I thought it would be, to be honest, because I thought TG would have more like difficulty versus. But I think he played pretty well. He really didn't get lucky. Of course, Marco is the stronger player, but that wasn't still an interesting match.
Yeah, there was definitely some points early on when it was like 2-2. When Marco failed those Bommelwell scores, I was like, that might start to mess with him a
Yeah,
bit. TG got Zelda. Like there was some opportunities there. But Marco's decision to go adult, and then he was able to continue to capitalize on things, I think.
yeah. I swear now that like while I'm gonna find adult early, like, and I have hookshot, should I go adult right away? Like even a little. Every time I found like that's like TOT super early, I always want to go adult, and now like just a little bit more. Once you get that bottle, like, and maybe the hookshot, I think you're ready to go adult. It's really crazy.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pull both the players in here for an interview, and you guys can say
Make the
whatever
loading
what-
zone, but
Oh, sorry about that.
I was gonna make the loading zone by a second. I missed it by like a pixel and I drowned. I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny. Dude, I needed that. I was in like, man, I can't find anything. I was getting gamer frustration and that just lifted my entire mood. So
TG, I have a question for you.
hey Dav, how you doing?
Did you know that you have the iron boots?
Yes. Why?
Did you, because you could have used the iron boots to go to like on the loading zone. So like if you void out there, you can use the iron boots after this and just get.
Oh.
Even
didn't know.
better, the last thing you tried to do for a while, you had the overboot, so you could just roll there and get.
Oh well.
But that's fine.
Life's for learning.
Hey, good game, Marco.
Thanks.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, GG, Marco.
Thanks.
So
Yeah, that was actually a bit rough. No bombs,
Yeah.
no ocarina.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get bombs, Marco?
No.
No
I'm
Sun
surprised
Song
you-
either.
Yeah,
I
no
didn't see
Sun Song.
Song.
Yeah.
I got like DC what, an hour in or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have Sun Song?
No.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
None of us did. No Sun Song, no Ocarina.
Yeah, I was
I-
buffering. I was the damage buffering with the Coco the whole time.
I was damage buffering with Zelda's Lullaby for like a straight 30 minutes there. It was probably the most boring thing to watch.
do you know where was ZL, Marco?
No.
Oh, Marco never found ZL. I found it like
No.
within the first 15 minutes. That felt
Oh,
really
really?
good.
Wow.
It was something that you had like a couple of gold there, like Goron City, the Goron City shop.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never went. Like, Goron City was really difficult to find for me.
Huh.
So it makes sense. Like, as an adult, it was just Serenade to go there. But for like 30 minutes, I was searching for Goron City because the only warp I had for Goron City was a child warp. It was like a chest minigame or something. But it was just
Yeah.
Serenade in the end. So.
Well, I missed out on Serenade just because I got to Ice Cavern as child. And it's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
if I'm not getting the goal now, I'm never getting it. So I just went for Iron Boots.
But yeah, I was surprised that you didn't do Goron Tunic for a while. I thought I would have been sniped on that.
Well, I didn't go adult until really late, so I
Oh.
had no chance to like RBA wallet. So it was, yeah, it was
Oh.
rough. I didn't find Temple of Time until really late.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sucks.
Yeah. And then I didn't find the easy way to domain through market for like a while. And when I found it, I'm just like, oh, that's how we got Silver Scale. Okay.
Actually, the first time I got Silver Scale was leaving the hook shot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
That was
It's like you could just get there via Bomb Chew shop, and I'm just like, oh, well, okay. Anyways.
So Marco, are you gonna precise a little bit your over and bottom to?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
really annoying at the beginning because I didn't
Yeah.
practice very much before starting the tournament. So I completely forgot the stuff in Ice Cavern as a child, and then I forgot Bottom of the Well as without the Boomerang too. So at the beginning, it was difficult. I really need to practice some stuff. Did you get
Shout
a
out
blue
to
fire
Sharknado
from
Strats.
Trials? TG?
Did I? No, I got it. I just got it from Ice Cavern. I did the bomb shoot through the wall thing.
Ah, yeah.
Mhm.
The
Right.
drop it on 11 and just hold forward and win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that it looked like Marco had those early finds of Ice Cavern and bottom of the well, and it was like it could tell he was getting frustrated with the bottom of the well, and then I think the decision to go adult ended up being a good one, just because there were so many. This board really did not have too many short, child squares. It kind of had a lot of lengthy goals, so
Yeah.
being able to
Yeah.
capitalize on that.
No Mido chest though.
Yeah.
Right?
that's
No,
pretty
no
good.
ice arrows either.
Yeah, really. Like I was really. I don't know a lot of GTG strats as adult, but like as child is free for me, so I was really holding out on just like child stuff and just like free ice arrows. I was trying to save as many bomb shoes as possible early, so
Yeah, no Jabu either.
no Jabu either.
Yeah. This was tough to see that there's still so many squares available after this
Yeah.
long.
I didn't
Isn't it
find
really
many.
surprising?
I didn't find many fairy fountains either. I found like whatever. I found one that I didn't care about that was either double defense or double magic, and I found Nehru's Love, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I found only 2 fairy fountains as well.
Okay.
But I did not explore as much as I usually do just because of the lack of Sunsong and Ocarina and stuff. Sometimes I do more like warps where you have to die, but I skipped some of them in this.
Yeah, I
So-
also had to change up how I basically play this, especially for Lockout. I mostly play Beta Quest for Draft because I love Beta Quest Draft, but Lockout is an entirely different beast because you cannot waste time in the early game taking
Yeah.
notes and stuff. You have to like you see a goal, you got to take it because if you wait on it, someone else is going to nab it. It
Yeah,
makes it I don't want to use the word stressful. It definitely keeps you on your toes a bit more, and I don't know if I like this over Draft, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I think you just have to rush as many warps as you can
Oh,
in
yeah.
Lockouts.
Yeah, that what I was saying, TG. Like you're pretty good exploration guy. Like what you were doing for exploration, I really like it. But like the aspect of lockout, I was saying it like a little like less optimized than Marco. Like when I was watching Marco, I knew exactly what he was going for.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, that just comes with like years of playing this game.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
have nearly as many years as Marco does. I've only been
Yeah.
playing this game on and off for like 2
But
years.
At the
so.
start, like we really had a close match. Like when Marco, we saw Marco scroll a little bit, and then you find ZL. I was like, okay, maybe we have a game here. Was 2-2 was not like something like super different. But then Marco find defeat Phantom Ganon, and then
Yeah,
he
I
finds
think
Grid of
finding
Light.
Phantom Ganon, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
knew it was just like, oh no, because that rolls into so many things.
And the
Yeah.
fact that now that
Mhm.
everything Marco skip as Chal is now accessible is like, oh, that's kind of.
Yeah, and then when I found the Master Sword warp, that was huge too.
Yeah, no
Right.
kidding.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I didn't have Shadow at the time, so I couldn't go back child. It was actually risky to go adult as that quickly without Phantom Ganon, without Shadow, without Master
Oh, you
Sword
went adult
warp.
without Phantom Ganon. Holy moly.
Yeah, I just because I had so many stuff doable. As an adult, I could do Halia Skulls, I could do Death Mountain Skulls, Goron Tunic, Giant's
Yeah.
Knife, all of that I could do. So
It
that's
does.
why.
I think it does pay off to do risky stuff, like go adult as early as
Yeah.
possible. Just any goals are good goals in Lockout, really. Just anything to get
Yeah.
yourself on the board.
Especially because I was
Constrict what your opponent can do.
Yeah, I was struggling with bottom of the well skulls too, so it was just screw it, man. I'm just going adult. I'm tired of this.
To be honest, if I found Temple of Time, I probably would have nabbed it as well. But
Damn,
What,
I had.
Beta
I think
Quest is
I
Beta
all.
Quest.
I had all 3 warps like an hour in or something.
all 3 warps, nice.
Yeah.
Another cool thing is how many HP do you think TG?
I'm at 8. I'm 2 heart pieces away from 9.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So-
at least-
All right, that was the best part about me drowning in Zora's domain because that led to Morpha.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That
that's right.
That was pretty great. Just like, okay, well, not only am I laughing my pants off, I also
I
got a
was-
free art container.
I was really hoping for like a snipe of like 9 that like 3 hours, like Marco going for the lockout, but you get sniped the goal.
Yeah, there really weren't any actual snipes on this one. You guys were always off doing your own things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could have gotten iron boots if I remembered that you could just clip with the chew as
Oh
child.
wow.
But
Because I was in Ice Cavern 15 minutes in, I think, as child. I tried it, but
Yeah, same. Ice Cavern is pretty easy to get to.
yeah.
Considering we started outside of it, I guess it's appropriate.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
but
hook shot was really nice too in this scene. I got it really fast.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, I was just like hook shot and then ZL, and I was like on top of the word for a little bit, and then I found DC, and I'm just like, I have a chance! I have a chance! And then the rest of the game happened, but oh well.
all right.
Mm,
None at present. This was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I always enjoy Beta Quest, whether or not I'm winning or losing, so I don't mind getting owned by a veteran.
All right, awesome. Yeah, well, thank you everybody for coming out. We were honestly really lucky to be in the presence of 4 great runners, so thanks a lot
And
for that.
me.
Okay, come on. You did great.
Okay, I believe you.
And of course, thank you to all the viewers. None of this would be possible without you guys, so thanks for coming out and chatting, having a good time. And yeah, we will be back with more beta quests, hopefully soon. So that's going to be it for today, or for right now. Everybody have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.